I'm just like all of you. Find myself midnight, can't sleep. What do? Instagram. You're scrolling. And I found a fantastic post by Mr. Smoking Bell's Barbecue. It was a chicken parm smash burger. It looked too good not to try, so I'm gonna do my best. Let me show you guys how I like to do it. I don't often use ground chicken, but for a chicken patty, not burger, burger implies beef. Everything else is a patty. But smash patty doesn't sound as fun. It doesn't sound quite as good. So I've got ground chicken. Now, I would never do this to beef, but I am gonna add a whole bunch of fun stuff. I'm gonna start with some salt and some pepper. We do have to add a good bit of flavor to chicken. It doesn't have all that beef fat, hence not the burger. I'm gonna add some of our tutto italiano as well. Be a little generous. Now, those are dried herbs. I'm gonna get to my fresh herbs as well. I've got some flat leaf parsley and some basil. I'm gonna chop those up pretty fine into the mix. Like, we're almost getting into like meatloaf territory, maybe even like chicken meatball, chicken ball territory, but trust me, you need the flavor. The last little thing I want to add is a bit of grated Parmesan. Now, we're winning. This is fantastic. Some of the other ingredients are going to complement everything in here, but what we want to do is mix all of this nice together, nice and even. Be sure to wear gloves. Ground chicken's no fun for anyone.
Nope.
We're gonna make 2 to 3 ounce meatballs, just like we do for smash burgers. We're gonna do the same thing with these chicken patties. Let's do the CJ Fraser maneuver here. If you don't know what it is, take your meatball, throw it down on your screaming hot griddle, let the meatball sit for like 15, 20, maybe 30 seconds. Then when you flip it onto the little slightly cooked side, when you smash it, it won't stick. And if it does stick, just use another spatula or get some parchment paper. Either way, we're gonna cook these just like smash burgers. Now, while those are cooking, let's get to our sauce. Crazy, crazy simple. 3 ingredients. You've probably seen me make this one before, but it's too good not to try. Mayo, sun-dried tomato spread, and lemon juice. That's all you need. You can do a touch of salt and pepper if you like, but this is just a gorgeous, simple sauce that it's really versatile too, but it works great with chicken. Once that first side of the chicken patty looks flawless and perfect, give it a flip. Now's where we're gonna start playing and having fun. I've got some Rayo's marinara right over the top. We're also gonna add some shredded mozzarella cheese. Now we're starting to look. It's starting to come together now. Look like a chicken parmesan. This is fantastic. Dome it if you'd like to melt the cheese. I'm also gonna toast some ciabatta buns. I really like ciabatta for this because it's crusty and crunchy and really wonderful. I don't want a soft bun for this. I wanna elevate just a touch. So we're gonna toast those on both sides, just a little light toasting on the dome side. And then it's pretty much time to build. If you would like, you could garnish with some sliced tomato, but what I'm gonna do is take some of that gorgeous, stunning sauce on the bottom bun. I'm gonna go with a bit of arugula. If you haven't had arugula, it's a wonderful, peppery green. Big flavor. It's not just lettuce. It's actually lettuce that has a ton of flavor. I'm gonna add a bit of my sliced tomato, and look at this beauty. I mean, I hate not calling it a smash burger. It's a smash patty, a smash chicken patty.
But since you are honoring the creator,
I am honoring.
Honor by say.
We'll call it that. A little sauce on the top bun, and that's it. This is one of the, like, when you're scrolling through Instagram and you see a fantastic recipe, you know you just gotta make it. That's what happened. That's what happened. If you haven't yet, go follow Smoking Bell's Barbecue, but I'm getting into this. This looks awesome. Ooh. Not beard friendly.
All the good ones aren't.
It tastes like chicken parmesan. This is weird. Wow. You know, sometimes it's date night. Sometimes it's a special occasion. Sometimes it's the weekend. You want to show off a little. You want to elevate. Or it's Wednesday and you want something quick. It's a quick one, right, CJ?
Sure it is.
It's a quick one. I'm going to show you guys the very basic 1, 2, 3 simple, Michael Jackson, what does he say? A, B, C. Simple as shrimp fried rice. Very, very easy. Let me show you how to do it. I think especially on the simple things, knife skills really, really matter because the appearance of our vegetables, those are the things that like show you cared. I mean, you could buy the bag of pre-cut vegetables, and honestly, that would be easier. Go for it.
That's
it would
right.
work.
That would actually be
CJ would do it.
ABC one.
Feel comfortable about it. But I like to do my onions and my peppers very, very nice. right? Really even cuts, small bite-sized pieces, very simple. And the combination of both color and flavor, I think, are money on this. So there we go, red, pepper, and onion. Let's keep moving on to shrimp. Now these shrimp have the tails on, but they are peeled and deveined, so that's fine with me. I'm gonna go down on my griddle top with just a bit of sesame oil and a bit of olive oil. Now these two together give us, you know, that beautiful sheen, but too much sesame oil is no fun for anyone. So salt and pepper on those shrimp, pretty easy, but I also wanna go with another staple you need to have in your cupboard, ground ginger, or ginger powder, and garlic powder. Fresh, obviously better, but in a pinch on a Wednesday, I just wanna get this done. I've got it in the cupboard, easy peasy, ready to go right over the shrimp. Give those a toss until they're nice and crisp. Now I have my 36 like medium heat on one side, off on the other. Once those shrimp are done, go ahead and slide them off. Let's throw down our eggs. Add a bit more oil if you need to, but I am all set. Give those a little chop, a little salt and pepper. Same thing, very, very easy. Slide those off to the side. Now I want to do my vegetables. So I'm gonna go in with the peppers, the onions, and some peas, little sweet peas. They're beautiful. They make everything look great, and you gotta have them. You gotta have them. Well, you wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Give this, you know, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, just to get a little toast on the vegetables, but we don't want to cook them too soft. We don't want to go too long. We want a little bit of bite to them. Now I've got some day-old rice. Throw that over the top. Cooked rice, easy peasy. If you guys need a video on how to make rice, you know, go watch CJ's show. Go ahead and add a bit more sesame oil and some soy sauce. Be considerably generous with the soy sauce. This is where a lot of our flavor is coming from, and some butter. I'm gonna go hard with the butter. Add a good bit of butter and mix all that together. Now bring everything together in this glorious pile of deliciousness and chop it all in. I mean, that's pretty much how easy it is. If you're noticing the color's not quite right, go with a bit more soy sauce. That's kind of like the binder for everything. That's what gives us that feel. So this looks perfect to me. Now I do like to garnish with just a little bit of sriracha and some green onions. So some thinly sliced green onions over the top and a little squeeze of sriracha. It's a little spicy, so if you don't like it, skip it. But I like that little bit of heat. But that's it, that's Wednesday. That's Wednesday, and our soup, that's quick. How quick was that, CJ?
Pretty darn quick.
Quick, there you go, dinner. Does not have to be difficult. Just like side dishes, sometimes appetizers get like this, like they're an afterthought. But you can really shine on appetizers. I'm talking chopped up chicken thighs on a skewer with a delicious Parmesan mayo sauce. Unbelievable and gorgeous. Let me show you how I like to do it. So I'm gonna start with chicken. I mentioned a minute ago, I'm using chicken thighs. I've already diced them up. Now chicken thighs, they don't dice like chicken breast, right? Like it's not like a perfect shape. However, that is fine for what we're doing. You know, some of them are kind of loose like this. What I like to do is just kind of fold it over on itself and just enough to keep it together, right? Little bits hanging off the side, we're gonna get texture, we're gonna get all these beautiful little nooks and crannies. So as you start building these, just kind of fold and make it somewhat of a skewer shape. That's a thing, right, CJ? A skewer shape. Today I'm just using a bit of SPG, Blackstone salt, pepper, garlic, very, very simple. And you know, there's not any seasoning really getting to the center, so don't be afraid of going heavy on the outside, because that little bit of salty on the outside will help season the inside. It'll be fine. We're gonna go medium high. Right, we're not screaming hot, but we're definitely not cool, right? We don't want to take our time, but we do want enough time that the chicken cooks. So once all of your skewers are down, we're looking at about probably 7 to 10 minutes total cooking time until it's totally finished. Now, while those are cooking, let's get to our sauce. Now, there aren't a lot of moving parts here, and I've said this in the past. It's not that I like mayonnaise. I wasn't gonna say I don't like mayonnaise. I don't like mayonnaise by itself. Duke's is fantastic. And I almost exclusively use mayonnaise as the base of my sauce. I've also got some Dijon here. The Dijon and the mayo are gonna play together very nicely. Little unknown fact, like grated cheese and mayo with lemon juice. Like Parmesan mayo lemon juice, it's a star. Now I'm using garlic powder here. I want a good garlic flavor, but I don't want that peppery bite, but I do want some heat. I want heat in the form of red pepper flakes. I like the color, I like that touch of heat. It's gonna go really nice. I wanna thin this out a little bit, so let's grab a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of acidity here as well, and what we're getting is, it's like a sweet acidity. Speaking of like texture and consistency, I wanna thin this out a bit. I want this more saucy, so I'm gonna add just a touch of white wine. Now you can always add more, so don't add too much. Let's see how we're looking here. This is feeling good. Yeah, there we go. The grated cheese, game changer. texture, everything else. Let's check on our chicken. Feel free to rotate these often. You can start leaning them up on each other if you want to. Oh yeah, we're looking good. Now here's something fun. While they're here, I want to take a little bit of that sauce. You don't want to do this too early. Like right now, we're probably, say 70% done. So I can take my sauce and actually drizzle it right over the chicken.
Oh, you're gonna glaze it.
It's almost a glaze. Now essentially where we are now is a holding pattern. We're gonna flip and rotate. We'll probably add a bit more sauce here and there. What I'm looking for is the color, the texture, and making sure that that chicken is fully cooked. Again, that sauce will kind of like glaze up on the outside as you cook and rotate, until you're left with perfection, absolute perfection. I do have one last little thing I wanna do. Totally unnecessary, but tons of fun. I've got some fresh rosemary from the garden. I'm just gonna basically create a little bed here. Now check this out. I've got my torch. We're gonna torch all of this. This is just one of those fun things. You don't have to do it, but it's so much fun to do. It's a fun show for everyone if you have people over.
Showstopper action, huh?
Little showstopper. Now we're gonna take, you can stay right here. I'm gonna take my chicken that is fully cooked. I'm just gonna put it right on there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, now look at these, gorgeous.
All right.
I'm gonna take some of that sauce that we had. CJ tried it off camera.
Yeah.
Winner, winner.
Winner, winner. Chicken skewer dinner.
Let's go right over the top. Now the chicken is hot, so this sauce will start to kind of lay down on the sides and just be really, really beautiful. I mean, this is one of those things too. It's not hard to make something impressive, something delicious, something really easy and fun. That's kind of a showstopper. Here we are again, playing with our food. Another TikTok tested. This is worth a try. This is a fun one. Honestly, this is something that would probably be on your show, CJ.
Yep.
But it's not, it's here. We're TikTok tested the Smashburger Taco. Let me show you how I like to do it. Now, before we get to our beef, I want to get to my condiments. I want everything to be ready to go the second it's time to cruise on Smashburgers. We all know how Smashburgers, they take like 90 seconds tops.
So we're getting our mise en place.
Dude, I am so proud of you. Yes, the mise en place. I'm doing my tomatoes and my onions relatively small. I'm going salsa. I feel like we're in taco territory.
We are, but it's not taco.
I know, but we want it to look a little bit like a taco, so it's kind of like salsa. Hit that with just a touch of salt and pepper. Tomatoes love salt. So that's it for condiment one. Let's get to some romaine lettuce. I like to do very, very thinly sliced. For my burgers and for my tacos, so this is appropriate.
You made me a believer in this.
Appropriate for me. I want the crunch, I want the green, mix it all together. That one is great. Now let's get to our sauce. Special sauce is no secret, but it is special.
It's quite special.
It's very special. Just a few ingredients. I'm gonna change it up a little bit. We're starting with mayo. We've got our mustard. We've got our ketchup. We've got our relish. I am using sweet relish. You could stop there and you would be winning. Like these things alone, mix that together, you've got a great sauce. I'm gonna go with a touch of lemon juice to bring a bit of acidity, and I'm gonna go with some garlic powder, and instead of paprika, I'm doing chili powder. This is gonna give us the color and a lot more flavor. Paprika is actually made from red bell peppers. You know that,
Yep,
CJ?
I did know that. Do you know it's a fruit?
Spray, you know that.
Huh?
Spray, you know that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's it. That's a very, very simple special sauce. Now let's get to our ground beef. General rule of thumb is use 80-20. Now I'm gonna turn all of these into, let's do 6. We'll do 6 equal meatballs. We're probably in the 3 to 4 ounce range here. Don't over squeeze them. We're not making like meatballs, like Italian style meatballs. It's a spicy meatball and it's a wrong show. Dang it, CJ. You want them lightly packed, just like that. I've got my Blackstone set to stun, high heat. We definitely want really, really high heat for Smashburgers. So, I mean, here's where we go. CJ, I haven't actually done this. Have you done this?
I have not done it.
If you've done this at home, let me know in the comments right now, and then leave me another comment later to see how I did.
See how we did.
I guess we put these down, and then we put the tortilla on.
That's what they do on TikTok.
All right.
And then you put the tortilla on and smash them into the tortilla.
All right, so I've got flour tortillas. So this actually solves the sticking problem for those of you, just like that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, this solves the sticking problem if you ever make Smashburgers at home. Sometimes you get that stick. This is cool.
Is it?
I feel good about this.
Do we?
I do. How do you feel?
I don't know.
This is kind of awesome.
I don't know that I feel great about it.
I feel pretty good about this. All right,
Okay.
can we, let's do 2 more.
Okay.
I have an idea.
So you want to divert from the test already, even though we haven't technically got through a test yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Let's do 2 more regular,
Great.
and we'll see how we're doing. Maybe I won't. We'll see how this works out. All right, you know what? I bet you could even, dude,
Look at that.
you don't need the spatula.
You got the tortillas through the barrier from the heat.
All right, I'm digging this. So we haven't seasoned yet. We'll season on flip. But again, we're like, so what, do you just hang out now?
Yeah.
Let me know. Have you made these at home? I want to peek real quick.
Dude, it just got on there.
Yeah, let it sit for a second. Let's let it sit for 90 seconds. See you in 30. No, see you in 20 seconds.
Sounds
20 seconds. Feel good. Feel good. Okay.
All right.
Come on. I mean, this is fun. This is fun. All right, let's hit this with cheese. I've got American cheese. If I'm like, American cheese is fantastic. Do not be afraid of American cheese. It may not seem elevated to your palates.
Because it's not, but it's amazing.
Man.
The palate loves American cheese.
I got the extra thick kind.
Of course you did.
Oh, come on. Okay, so we're officially in weird territory.
Doing the slicing, the sliced cheese makes it still hang out in the burger territory.
Oh yeah, the only thing different at the moment is the tortilla, and this is fun for me. I like this. So the bottom bit of beef is gonna cook now on the other side while this cheese melts. That's the consensus here?
That's, I guess.
All right, ooh, get back over here in the middle. Let's season this with just a bit of our whiskey burger, and now we build it. All the toppings, all the deliciousness, this is easy. The toppings are really fun. We said it was gonna look kind of like salsa, and it does. We've got lettuce, tomato, onion. That's what a cheeseburger should have. We've got that special sauce. Mine got a little crispy, and if you filled them up a little bit like I did, you know, it's fine. It's supposed to be a mess. This is not beard friendly.
This is a test kitchen after all.
And I haven't tried it yet, but I have high hopes. Dude, the tortilla got kind of crispy.
I think that's actually really important in my opinion for this.
Dude, this is gonna be messy. I don't want to eat all over all the other tacos.
Yeah, don't.
I'm pulling garbage can in. Here we go. Not beard friendly. It's gonna burn my mouth. I know it.
Is it still screaming hot?
Mm-hmm. It's cheeseburger and a taco, dude.
Yeah.
We did steak bites recently. You know what? I'll get into it in a minute. I'll get into it. These are pork bites, not steak bites, on a bed of wilted cabbage. Spicy, delicious, a little bit of bachan's miso. Come on! Let me show you guys how I like to do it. I've got some pork chops, like pork loin, right? Nothing difficult here. They're decent thickness. Let's say 1 inch to 1.5 inches. You don't want the really, really thin stuff. It cooks way too quick. So we're gonna dice it up. Now we're gonna make healthy, good, big bites. Think of this like a tailgating party. You got a bunch of dudes, a bunch of friends over. You want something pickable. 1 bite will do you, but make it a decent bite.
But dude, this is
Be
inexpensive
decent.
meat, so you can do a lot.
Yeah, this is not expensive. Very simple seasoning here. Salt and pepper and ground ginger. The ground ginger is gonna do 2 things for us. It's gonna give us a ton of flavor. Notice I'm not using fresh, I am using ground because the consistency is almost like flour. So it's gonna give us a crust on the outside. So it's gonna be this like vibrant, bright, and beautiful crust. Now I've got my griddle pretty smoking hot. We're at medium, high heat. I'm gonna use 3 different oils, which might sound strange, but just trust a brother, trust me. I'm starting with some olive oil, then some sesame oil, then some chili oil. Skip the chili oil if you don't like the heat, but it turns the oils into a flavor component, not just a medium for heat. So use any kinds of oils that you like, but these are the ones I like. Now, if you want, you can do this next part, but you don't have to. You could just serve the pork bites by themselves. But I really like a bed of wilted cabbage. So the cabbage I'm using, just some white cabbage. Slice it up like a julienne, something nice, something elegant looking. I mean, don't go overboard on your knife skills, but we do want them kind of thin. We don't want giant chunks. I've also got some other garnishes here. Use any garnishes that you like, but I like green onions, red jalapeno peppers or red chili peppers. You can use some cilantro, but your garnishes are where you can really play and make things unique to you. If you wanted to use nuts or cashews or walnuts, you could totally do that. But essentially what you're looking for is some color, some contrast, and adding the flavors that you like. Now, about halfway through, you'll notice the pork starts to get really, really crispy. That's what we're looking for. If it's not getting crispy, crank the heat up. You want some serious heat here. But once they're done, the last thing I like to do is a bit of bachan's miso. If you have not tried bachan's miso, whoa. Holy whoa. It's rich. It is a fantastic, fantastic addition. We're using it here like a glaze, so you don't only have to use it as a garnishing sauce. If you want to finish the pork, you can add some sesame seeds, toss that all together. Now, before it burns, make sure it's all tossed nice and even. We're like 95% cooked here. Slide it over to the cooler part of your griddle. Now, before any of the rest of that sauce, like I was saying, you don't want it to burn. Let's get to our cabbage. Let's add all of our cabbage. Now you'll notice here it starts to wilt really, really quickly, so we want to move quick. We don't want to cook this super long. let's add a bit of lime juice. I should have mentioned it earlier. The sweet acidity of lime juice is different than just straight acidity. It goes a long way. Now, depending on whatever ingredients you want to add, your garnish, call it garnish. It's what makes the cabbage pop once you add all the color. Add all of that now. We're also gonna add some rice wine vinegar to punch up the acidity a touch more, and some tamari. The tamari is gonna give us some dynamic flavor, a bit more richness, and some saltiness as well. Plating is crazy easy. Just make a big pile of food, CJ.
Pile it up, bro.
It's tailgating. Make
Pound
a
it.
pile of food. But it's a particularly beautiful pile. If your cabbage is a bit saucy, a bit juicy, let some of it drain off and then put it down on your plate. I like to use kind of like a bowled plate, a plated bowl.
That's like
you know what I'm
water in
saying?
cabbage, right?
Yeah, it's just some of the liquid that we use. We don't want all of that to kind of just be soupy. A little bit's fine. A little bit of sauciness is fine. Then cover the top with our gorgeous pork bites. Look at those things. They're so glazy. That miso is fantastic as an ingredient to cook with and as an ingredient to garnish. Speaking of garnish, if you want, go a little harder with a bit more of your green onions if you'd like. You can add any other garnishes that you like. You just want a little pop of color, a pop of contrast. I'm using some sriracha mayo, which if you can't find it, just mix sriracha and mayo. Do you know that, CJ?
Yeah, I did.
Simple recipe. Sriracha mayo and then a bit more of that bachans. If you want some more sesame seeds, just because it's beautiful. And what you're left with is truly, like CJ said at the beginning, doesn't look like a tailgate dish. But it is, and it's gonna blow your friends away. Well, thank you guys again so much for watching. This is Cook, Eat, Repeat, where we like to help you become a better cook, one recipe at a time. I'm your host, Chef Nathan Lippy, and I will see you all in the next episode.